I'm in the Great Bear Rainforest, and the bears are the focus, but there's so much other wildlife here in this amazing place.
Tail.
Now this is my second day on this adventure. The first day I posted last week, and it was a lot of marine wildlife. Talking sea lions, sea otters, humpback whales, Dall's porpoise, eagles, bunch of different birds. And today we're going into an estuary to see grizzly bears. But that doesn't mean we won't just see grizzly bears, because there's wildlife everywhere here. Now before I get started, if you are new to this channel, my name is Shannon and I'm a full-time photographer in beautiful British Columbia. Whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or simply enjoy some stunning visuals, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Good morning everyone. It is day 2. It is 5:45 a.m. We have a half an hour drive to be at our next location for 6:30, and then we're back out on the boat at 7 a.m. This day we're gonna go see grizzly bears and hopefully other marine wildlife. So stay tuned for that. Might get a little rain today, but for the most part it's just gonna be cloudy, maybe some sunshine here and there. Should be a good day. Can't wait.
Hi, Eagle.
All right, it is day 2. I am on a different boat. It's a beautiful boat. I'm out with Seawolf Adventures, and it is a calm day. Look how beautiful it is out there. Now there is some rain clouds in the forecast. Hopefully we don't get rained out too much. Now on the boat ride out to the estuary where the bears are, we did see some wildlife. We see some sea otters as well as some whales, but we were focused on getting bears first, and then when we come back, we can check out other wildlife that we see out in the waters.
500 kilometers from the mouth to the head. We're going to go up about halfway.
We got our first sighting of grizzly bears. But it's a mama and 2 cubs. Super cute. These bears are eating mussels off of this branch, and the shells of the mussels aren't nearly as thick because of the amount of fresh water in this estuary, this inlet. You can see the color change because of the minerals from the glaciers and the waters coming down from the mountains. So these mussels are a delicious treat for both the mom and for the cubs. A lot easier to eat and has plenty of protein and vitamins. And it's amazing to see how powerful, how strong these grizzlies are. Like, look at that giant rock. It's just incredible. And when they're moving those rocks, they're looking for crabs that they can just easily slurp up and munch on. So during low tide, it's a very important time, and these ravens here, which I thought this was a cool shot, where they lock eyes. The ravens are here to clean up any of the food that they leave behind. My shutter speed was pretty low, 1/800th, just so I can have a lower ISO. And then I did bump it up there for a bit, just to compare maybe to the 2 images. Now we're heading further up the inlets to see more bears in the estuary.
There's a cub there too. Two cubs. Two cubs behind.
Take a break for a minute and talk about camera gear and some settings. So I'm using a Z9 camera body. This thing is quite heavy, but the nice thing is I paired it with a 400 4.5 lens, and this is extremely light, even with the 1.4 teleconverter, which gives me 560 mils of reach. Now we're on a boat, and the boat has some movement. So if you are going to be taking photos and video, you just need to make sure that you're moving a little bit and allowing your body to absorb any of the counter movement. to get some smooth video recording. For photos, fairly simple. I'm shooting at, I think it's like 1250 on average, or 1600th of a second for my shutter speed. I have it set to manual mode with auto ISO. That way the ISO can float, and if I need to fine tune it, I just do exposure compensation. My focus area mode is a horizontal box or rectangle, because the bears are not jumping around, they're not flying, obviously, and I can just put them in that box and follow them along. Now my default, if there's other wildlife, is full area focus mode. And if I find that the camera's having a hard time pulling focus, like if there's waves in the way, if it's a whale or something, then I use one of these function buttons to do spot focus. And if spot focus doesn't work and I can't get the box onto my subject, then I might twist the ring and start doing manual focus mode with peak highlights indicated. And I like using blue for my color, just my own preference. So wherever the blue is highlighted, that's what's going to be in focus. Memory cards. You need to have fast memory cards. If you are taking a lot of photos and you don't want it to buffer, well, you need fast memory cards. Another thing is switching between video and photo. There could be a huge delay because it's reading and writing to these cards. So if you're planning on going back and forth, you need two really fast cards. Because I like to put video on this card and photos on this one and divide them, just makes it a little bit easier. Now my exposure mode is matrix. So if I find that I'm underexposed, then I use exposure compensation. Because if there's eagles and they're flying through the scene, the eagle's head and tail feathers are going to be the brightest thing there, unless it flies into the sky. And most of my sky shots, especially on, cloudy days or even blue sky days, I don't really like shooting an eagle just in a blue sky. I like having trees or islands, ocean, whatever in the background to make it a little bit more interesting instead of just an eagle from a low point of view shooting up into the sky. So that mode really works well for me. And fine-tuning it with the exposure compensation is sort of muscle memory. I just know when to hit it if it's a little too bright or too dark. Now, the visual of it brightening and darkening on my mirrorless camera works pretty good, but our eyes can trick us. So if it's really bright out, you might be looking at your images and thinking they're too dark when they're actually okay. They're not too bad. So that's where the histogram comes in. I have a histogram that's there all the time. I can look at it. If I take a photo and I'm reviewing it, I have it so that the histogram is always there to tell me exactly what information is in the image. Because again, if it's really bright out or if I have sunglasses on, my eyes might deceive me from what I'm seeing on the back of my screen. I have workshops, and I'm planning a workshop here in the Great Bear Rainforest to take people like you out with me to see all of this amazing wildlife. You'll have to just email me for now to get on a waiting list, and then once I pop it up on my website, then you'll be able to actually join. Go to mattshannon.ca/workshops. I've got my Canadian Rockies workshop in the wintertime. There are still some spots available for that. I'm joining Adam Gibbs, another amazing photographer and YouTuber. And then I've got Bald Eagles in 2027. I just released 3 new workshops. Put it up just the other day, so you can check that out. All right, let's get back out in the field. Now, if you've been paying attention and counting the amount of bears that we've seen, it's now 9. We've seen 3 mamas and they each have 2 cubs with them. These cubs were a bit older than the previous 2 families,
And it was cool to see some nursing time here in the sedge grass, because it meant that they were really comfortable with us just floating there, filming and photographing. Now the grizzlies weren't the only wildlife in this area. There was this eagle's nest with a young up top, and the parent there watching over on a limb nearby. So after a while we ended up going back to the boat and more wildlife. Humpback whale right up in the strait. There it is. Down. Yeah, that's right. Now we didn't just see whales on our returning trip, we also saw rhinoceros auklets. Now only recently did they find out that this horn is actually fluorescent, and it's right on their bill or part of its bill. So that's pretty cool. And then we saw a lot more sea lions, another eagle's nest, and there's actually a young one behind that male bald eagle there. Every time I've gone to the Great Bear Rainforest, there isn't really the focus on any individual species. You got to just experience it all. You don't know what you're going to find. Maybe it's sea otters, maybe it's grizzlies along the coast or black bears. And I've always enjoyed my time up in this amazing part of the world. Well, if you like this content and you didn't see last week's video, the thumbnail looks like this. You should check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed, and I will see you on the next episode. Ciao.